There are two sections in physical geography. One is a biogeography or soils and vegetation, and the other is a ecosystem or environmental sciences or whatever that you can go to say it so. For all practical purposes, both of these topics are drawn from each other to such an extent that it will be difficult to separate both of them. So, what we are going to do is that we are going to be clubbing both of these sections together, that is a biogeography as well as a environmental geography, both of them. So, that goes on to make it bio-environmental geography. Now, when we pick up both of these sections, and there are going to be good number of overlapping topics between both of them, but essentially there are going to be, having picked up the overlapping topics, there are going to be four sections all in this part. The first section is going to be associated with what exactly is soil and vegetation. That's one. That means the significance of soils and vegetation. How is it that the soils and vegetation going to function? That's one component. The second is ecosystem, its functioning and the various types of it. The third is the different type of environmental degradation, and how is it that the human beings have played a role in accelerating the rate of environmental degradation. And the fourth part is about the management of the environment. So all of these topics fall within these four brackets only, and only these four brackets. So you have topics like soil profile, soil genesis, soil classification, then factors affecting distribution of plants and animals, and then thereafter the different type of vegetation and so on so forth. That is one component. Now, when you are talking about ecosystem, then that comprises of ecosystem. Ecosystem is one, the concept of the ecosystem, the types of ecosystem, the different type of biomes, and the concepts associated with the topic. That's the second part. The third topic is going to be the most comprehensive one, that is concerning itself with man's impact. So, how is it that the human beings are able to adapt themselves to the environmental conditions, or if they have adapted themselves at all with respect to environmental conditions? That is one. And the second is in what way is it that the human beings affect the environment? In what deleterious manner, what makes them the most devastating of the animals, all in all. And then, what are the different forms of environmental degradation, beginning with the impact on the atmosphere, impact on the climate, impact on the land, impact on the water, impact on the biotic life, impact on the animals, impact on the flora and the fauna, and impact on mass extinctions. So that goes on to make it almost encompassing almost everything. That means whether you are talking about global warming, whether you are talking about derelict land formation, mining problem, land use changes, anything you can imagine, or eutrophication in water, anything you can imagine, that is part of it. The fourth is associated with environmental management. And environmental management, all in all, comprises of sections like how is it that the environment can be managed. That is one. What are the forms and methods of environmental management? That's the second one. And what are the cardinal principles that are applied? Certain things like sustainable development, environmental education, environmental legislation, and variety of all of those type of topics. So this is what exactly is going to be picked up and taken up as a component associated with it. That's the way it is. That means these are the four sections associated with it. Now, the basic feature of this section is that this is one section that you have to study. You have to study because you have a separate section in general studies as well. So its topic is the same as that of general studies. So whether you prepare for general studies or whether you prepare for this section, in any case you have to study that part. That's number one. It's a different matter that for general studies prelims, you may have to prepare certain things factually, but in this case you have to prepare yourself a bit more analytically also. That's going to be one. The second is a one component that is associated with its utility. Its utility is that it is going to be very, very, very significant for your mains examination as well. And when we say it is significant for the mains examination, it means that without a recourse to all of these concepts that we are talking about, there is no way, there is absolutely no way that you can go ahead with the understanding and explanation of all the environmental problems to the examiner in the mains examination. That's the second part associated with it. The third part associated with it is going to be concerning itself with the different type of concepts which are going to be contemporary. Contemporary in the sense that is you need to study the whole of this section before actually you can go on to study and get a heck of or fathom out the different type of environmental problems and how is it that it can be explained and how is it that the government can go on to play a role in that. Different types of schemes, policies and responses of the international governments in this case, and to what extent there can be something like a bioterrorism or environmental terrorism, the type of terrorism that the Muslim jihadists happen to be following it in the whole of the world. That is the way Athens picks up fire, that is done by the Islamic jihadists in this case. The way a good number of problems occur in the northeastern part of the country, and Assam particularly, that is seeded by again them, and the way a good number of problems are likely to crop up, and they have cropped up in Jammu Kashmir region as well, which say the jihadists think that they have a complete control of, and that is their territory, and that they can go to kill all the kafirs. Kafirs means non-Muslims. That means mostly they're going to mean to Hindus. That means that is what their religion teaches them. That is, they must go to kill all the kafirs, and it is born out of it environmental terrorism. Of course, Chinese are also adapting the same manner, and they also going to do the same thing as well. But mostly Europeans, but mostly these jihadists are very, very active in Europe. And Europe, they will not go on to allow people to live at all, because that is what exactly is going to be part of their religious teaching. That is, there is no way that the Islamic jihadist can allow anyone who is a non-follower of Islam to live peacefully or live at all. That is at the heart of it. So these are some of the contemporary topics. Contemporary means that means you're going to study it, you know it, you see it in newspapers, and then you can go to correlate a lot of aspects in this case. Then there are always going to be the nefarious designs of the West, which is going to be part of narrative building. And the Westerners can go on to do anything. They can go on to make a polar bear drink Coca-Cola as well. That's what they have done it so. In the sense that is, they can go to market anything. This complete tenet is going to be based on that. Now, that means the environmental section, the bioenvironmental section will go on to help you understand the narratives as well, the environmental narratives as well, and some of those type of narratives that controls the whole of the world also. That is going to be the fourth aspect associated with it. The fifth is going to be the questions that are going to be asked from bioenvironmental geography. They are going to be very, very contemporary. Whether you answer them in general studies or as part of general studies or as part of geography itself, it's the same thing. That means there is no way that you can go to escape it. And when we say that is you can't go to escape it, it basically means that it's not only that you have to catch it up. It's also that you have to forcibly study, and when you're going to study, your effort with respect to the preparation of your general studies becomes less than half. This is the reason, basic reason that geography is always going to be so helpful to you. The last aspect is, this is one topic which is also going to be very descriptive. That means you do not require to be having a complete control over the diagrams. it is, you can go to do with the help of a language as well. So it is going to be with the help of a language. That's going to be one. Second is, it can go on to be with the help of a illustrations as well. You can fuse them as well. And environment is going to be one of these sections where one effect and leads to another, to another, to another, to another, and that you can go to take a recourse to different type of flow charts as well in this case. Not only that, you can always going to innovate your answers with multi perspectives associated with the topic. And when we are talking about multi-perspective, effectively what we are talking about is you can approach it from an angle of environment, you can approach it from the angle of human beings as well. You can take a nature-centric approach, you can go on to take a monocentric approach, human-centric approach, either of them. That is how you can go on to pick it up. And that's the way that you can go on to take it forward also. Now this is going to be one component associated with it. So bio-environmental geography is one section which will not going to say that we're going to having some limitations. It has advantages, and only advantages. This is largely because when you prepare this, you prepare your GSPT. When you prepare it, you prepare your GSMains. When you prepare it, you use it and apply it in Indian geography. You go to use it and apply it worldwide. You can go to use it and apply in a essay as well. That is why this section must be studied, must be prepared, and must be done thoroughly as well.
To have more such discussions and analysis, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications on our upcoming videos.